j'en ferai quoi? Offrez-moi du personnel, j'en ferai quoi? Un manoir à Neuchâtel, c'est pas pour moi. Offrez-moi la tour Eiffel, j'en ferai quoi? Je veux de l'amour, de la joie, de la bonne humeur.
Okay, I'm ready. One, two, three. Go. King Jean. Hello, Jean. It's wonderful to see you here. I like you too. This was your first time in the channel. You showed your relief and your happiness to bring another boat in this channel. You told us that it was really specific, really special, coming back up this channel. Yes, because I have experienced a lot of difficult things in my life, and but this time I think it was really unbearable, and actually you can still stand unbearable things. You can manage. It's always incredible, the human being, how he can manage to do things. When you tell yourself that it's impossible, and the fact that I'm here today is really a miracle. It's just incredible. And moreover, there is the ranking, this terrible ranking. There is a point where you really don't care anymore about the ranking. You just want to finish. And in addition, the day before yesterday I was 8th, then I was 6th, and today I'm 4th. So I haven't been really lucky in life, but on this occasion, I can say that I've had a lot of luck. It's true that I pushed it. I really went to the maximum, but so what you experienced today on this Vendée is harder than what you experienced during your capsize? Oh, yes. Because capsizing is something where you're on a boat, you capsize, and 19 hours later, Vincent comes to get you. That's it. It's only 19 hours. It's not 1 month and a half. Every day. Every hour. Can you tell us about it? So, when Kevin disembarked for the Nivos, there was a big front, and I went to the bow, and inside the hull, the boat was delaminated. The hull moves of 5 centimeters, and you're afraid that it's going to crack and that you're just going to sink. So I repaired the first time the bulkheads. I cut out ballast. I had carbon everywhere, not enough resin, of course. And in the end, I have half a tube of Seacom, so I think it means that it worked, and then it broke up again. So I went up north with a lot of sea. People who experienced this must know what it's like, and it broke again. So I had to stop another time and repair another time and waited for it to dry. And since then, every day I tell myself, you can't hit. Every hour you tell yourself that you don't want to continue, go forward, and to push it too much. And the day before yesterday, I told myself I can't anymore. You open the hatches and you see what's happening every time it hits on the wave. is terrible. I was not using the ballast anymore because I had cut a part of it in the center, so I couldn't open. And on the exterior, I could not use it anymore. I had put all the load in front in the bow and the sails in the bow so that the boat would hit less. And finally, I managed to finish. Hubert brought me back home, and I helped him to bring me back home. So it's at the bow on the starboard side. So there you are. So what's the size? What is the surface concerned? About 1.40 meters by 700. But then it can spread, huh? If you don't find the solution, because repairing something that's moving up and down, to stabilize it already, you have to make the injections of resin. It's already a big mess. Did you feel at some point that there was a rupture or something? That it had broken? That you had hit something? At some point, you open the hatch and you hear a really strange noise. And you tell yourself, wow, that's not good. Something's wrong. And I have some experience in this, so I know what we're talking about. But these stories were useless to tell about before. Now that I'm here, at least it's done, and that's behind me. So that's why I said that it was very difficult. Was it a big sea, heavy sea, when it broke? I don't know. I don't know when it broke. Maybe on a reaching when Kevin broke also, or maybe along the way. We don't know, actually. And actually, I don't really care in the end. But we don't care because you are here, so we're going to circulate the mics. So, but we're not going to do a whole press conference on this, huh? It would be a shame. We trust you to tell us some other stories of your Vendée Globe. Yes, Jean. Will you leave once again? Was it the Vendée Globe too many or too difficult? Will you take the start again? I don't know. I've just arrived. Today you tell me go leave tomorrow again. I said no. But it's just my immediate reaction now. This question, you ask it to me every time. When I break or not, it's something that is really plain. Huh? Every time you ask me if I will take the start again, actually you don't know. Can you imagine? I just crossed the finish line 5-6 hours ago. I don't know exactly. Now I'm happy to be here. I am here, and that's all. For the rest, my life continues. My life's going to change. Other things are going to happen because I've been on this for a long time. And now we're here. Did you enjoy this, Jean? A pleasure. I was stressed from the morning till the evening, wondering if I will finish. So I'm going to be honest, there wasn't much pleasure. Good evening, Jean, and I'm really happy to see you. You said earlier on that fourth position is the position of the jerk. So I would like to know if the jerk, despite all this, is proud. Yeah, because the position of the jerk, I had many in the Figaro circuit. So of course, second, you didn't lose. Fourth, you're not on the podium. So I thought I was number 8, so it was okay. And things have evolved, and I'm number 4. So the position of the jerk. So what I did is that I replaced the potential jerk that could have been in my position, in my place. So it's to show how generous I am. Jean, what pushed you? Because twice you told us that you had thought about retiring. What, in the end, pushed you to continue? Because I saw that my first repair was working. So it held. And after it broke in the middle of the Pacific. So then, in that case, the only thing you can do is go to Cape Horn. And once you round Cape Horn, I had 45 knots of wind, so I did not want to approach land and the Cape. So I rounded 100 miles off, and then there were conditions that were ideal. And in that moment, yes, there was pleasure. After Cape Horn, I had the dream conditions. I had been dreaming about it for 3 weeks, and then you have it. I went up north, and then you tell yourself that if you have to finish in a life raft, I prefer to be in warm weather. So every day you look at the water temperature, and you tell yourself, finally, at least in my life raft, I won't be cold. And then it goes on, it continues. It's better to be in a life raft in the trade winds than by 50 degrees south. Hello. You say that you didn't enjoy, and you didn't take much pleasure. A lot of skippers say that this edition was difficult. You are in your 5th Vendée Globe. What makes you want to take the start every time? For example, I was speaking of all things that are relative in reality. For example, when you're in the south and you are cold and you have all these problems, but then you go and you find flat sea, and it's the dream. It's the extremes. It's things that are unreachable in your daily life. That's why I put that song. I asked for the song of Johnny Hallyday. What have I done? Do you need to know what is bad to know what is good? To know unhappiness, to know love? And that's questions that I ask myself, truly, because it was real for me. And the person who wrote all these songs for Johnny, including this one, that's what it is. It's the extremes. That's a big part of the Vendée Globe, the driver, is that you spend sometimes some moments, like one day is completely different from the next. And if you start accumulating difficulties, of course, it becomes hell. And later on, when you get out of it, it becomes true happiness. 2 days ago, for me, it was quite difficult. Maybe a week or two before it was horrible. And today, It's incredible. This finish line, whatever the weather, rain or snow, you don't care. You have crossed the line. You wait during 4 hours and you arrive, and then you have everyone present, sending, communicating feelings about what you have made them feel. It's incredible. It's incredible in proportions, in dimensions that are completely uncommon. For example, tonight in the channel, everyone was there at 2 or 3 in the morning. Can you imagine? It's not this a man just strolling around at a supermarket and shopping. People are here. You can feel their depth, their sincerity, their soul. It's that beauty that you can never have in other contexts. And that's part of why it is an extreme pleasure. And these extreme moments, on one hand, when you're able to go to do it, and on the other hand, the satisfaction, unlimited satisfaction that you feel, it's black or white, it's extremes. So that's why you can ask the question, must you know hatred to know love? And at which level? And what level of hatred and what level of love? And this difference of levels is enormous on the Vendée Globe. It's uncomparable. It's something completely crazy. And these extremes, I can tell you, on this Vendée Globe, I went really low and I went really high. And the difference, the gap, is very big. I can't go further because I broke a rib, but that's what it's like. So I don't know if I've made myself clear. Yes? Jean, are you aware that of what you generate to people at land, this kind of magic around you, people who, the president of France who is on video with you, how do you explain this? Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain anything, actually. I don't have anything to explain. If the president calls me and wants to talk to me, well, he talks. So I say, well, hi, Manu. Don't forget. Please don't forget that saying too much makes people laugh, and not saying anything does not generate action. And that he remembers. It was a nice moment. These are things that are not part of the extremes that I was talking about earlier. Let's be clear. Jean, how do you imagine your future, your next few days as a person on land? I haven't imagined anything. I don't know. I don't know yet. It's just wonderful not to know, actually. Because it depends. Sometimes not knowing is good. On this aspect, it's good. Jean, why didn't you tell all this during the race? Because if you want to tell about these type of things, it would have generated controversies. For example, imagine I stay in the middle, and why didn't he stop, and why didn't he do this and that or that? So I think it's better to shut my mouth, and either you stay there or you manage to go all the way. And it did not concern the rest of the world. So it did not impede the race. It's no use generating a controversy that inflames. It is there. I explain it as something that is a reality, but that is now behind me. If I tell you this, it's because you asked me the question why this Vendée Globe was so exceptional for you and why it was so difficult. That's why.
Jean?
Jean, I would like to know, this boat is yours. You worked on it to be ready for this Vendée Globe. For the future, you said that there were quite a lot of messages with young people. And you said that you had proved that with a boat like yours, you could still be in the game. Would you like also to give to a young person? What would you like to give to a young person with your boat? Between Benjamin Dutreux and Damien and us, we gave confidence to the young people and made them understand that the Vendée Globe is still accessible, because today the Vendée Globe is becoming totally inaccessible. When you talk about budgets for the boats of 6 or 7 million euros, when you have a young person who sees this budget and he wonders either maybe you were drawn randomly by a multinational, or else you can't compete. So I hope, at least, that this edition of the Vendée Globe will enable the organizing authorities to look at the future with another glance. And I think it's important and essential, because the base of the Vendée Globe, the foundation of the Vendée Globe, were accessibility for the small and medium businesses and accessibility for the young people. And those are real, true values. And once you have said that, if you say too much, it makes people laugh. And if you don't say, you don't do any action. Have I answered your question? You also said that you broke a rib during the race. Yeah, I was peeing in a bucket. Sorry, Damien, but I am lucky to have my 2 hands. But even with my 2 hands, I had one hand holding and one hand for the bucket, and then at some point the bucket slid, and I took my second hand off, and everything fell, and I fell also, because I was lacking a third hand. That's why I wonder why we don't have 3 hands. So that's why. It's a little bit a problem when you sleep, because you can't manage to sleep. And when did this happen? Oh, this is about 2 weeks ago. Jean, you spoke a lot about foilers. We spoke a lot about foilers, and saying that these boats are not really adapted to the Vendée Globe. However, it is a foiler who is the first one, and another. Has your position evolved on this or not? Or you continue to say that these boats are not made for the Vendée Globe? I don't know. I think I think that it's strange. They didn't even beat me by 24 hours with a boat of 2007. So at some point, you must ask yourself questions. The two biggest budgets of the race, Charal, was out of the race quickly. Hugo Boss, with huge budgets. These budgets that are frightening, even for the old-timers. And Hugo Boss also goes back home. So I don't know. Kevin splitting in half. So yes, a foil that doesn't go fast is not dangerous. It's like with an old car, there's no problem. But if you look at the speeds, when they go above 20 knots, it's a miracle. And we hit 19.5. So everybody was talking about 30 knots, 28 knots, but that's the reality. But these are just figures. I'm simple and stupid, and the journalists talk about percentages. So what's 23 hours on 80 days in percentage? So I don't know. What I know is that it's not foiler or non-foiler the issue. It's the essential values that you have to consider. The accessing for small and medium businesses is giving hope to the young people. Those are values. The details, the carbon pieces, everything, we don't care. We adapt things, but now we are in something that's completely crazy. Boats going up to 30 knots in the south. It's not the same as the Bay of Quiberon. I crossed Damien. Damien was with Boris, and Damien tells me on the VHF, I've been with him for 3 or 4 days, and I think I'm going down better, and he's a little bit more in the wind, but I think we're doing the same. But if we hadn't done more or less the same thing over 80 days, there would not be 23 hours of difference. I'm not a mathematician, but I think I can still understand. Jean, you say this, but at some point in your career, you had a very expensive IMOCA or multi-hulls that were really expensive. Okay, so yeah, but tell me the end of the story. But at that time, you were in that trend. You had boats that were really expensive and with boats that broke. So today your speech has evolved, but you have known this this period. Yes, I have known this, but this period is finished. And luckily, in Figaro, we have gone back to monotypes, or else things would not exist anymore. This race would not exist anymore. I think there's a point when You have to rethink things and put them on the table. I don't know the solutions, but one thing is certain, is that in the current period that we are living in today, I think we are not in the reasonable way. So if we're not reasonable, we're unreasonable. Maybe not, but that's my feeling. A third pair of foils, V1, V2, V3. How much for each pair? 500? So that's for you the price of your boat. And the people in the technical team can't stand it anymore. Huh? It goes out, it breaks, and it comes back in, and we redo it. So it's really a pain because there's no vision. You add a layer and another layer. I did V1, V2, V3, and actually maybe V1 was, version 1 was better than V3, but we lost a boat in between. I don't know if that's what we should do. I'm not sure. Maybe yes, but I'm not certain. I think I don't have the solution, but maybe by setting things clearly on the table, we might find some interesting aspects to consider for the future. It's certain that if we don't ask ourselves any questions and we think that everything is going well, okay, but I'm not sure. And that's what you can observe today. For all of us who are here, think about what it was like 3 months ago for the store. Consider the picture of our vision, the vision and the spirit of the fleet that was there, while being sincere, honest with yourself. And now look 3 months later, today. These are extraordinary moments, so we have to be able to enjoy the difference between these 2 points and to enjoy the change in your head and take and measure the consequences. So I'm always questioning myself. I think it's impossible. One day, 4 years ago, with my boat, I did the same time as the first, and this time I did 1 day more. It took me 80 days for 4 years ago. What I mean is that it is so grotesque that we're not going to discuss about 1 day. Because normally, Hugo Boss should have done it in 69 days. So the weather also comes into consideration. Yeah, but when you're able to go at 28 knots, if the other one is at 18, the mouse holes can be found quickly. Huh? You need a really true difference. The faster you go, the speed makes you more intelligent. That's clear. So the weather is one thing, but we all had the same weather as they did. The Daggerboard's boat had the same weather as the foilers. So Let's just think. That's what I'm saying. Jean, you are of a certain age. Physically, is it becoming a limit? Is your age physically becoming a constraint? Can you continue to do the Vendée Globe after 20, 30, 40 years old? Oh, no, it's not half time. Huh? The physical factor on the Vendée Globe is very high, but you're going to winch faster or not. But you have to know how to do it. So no, I think that age. You paid a great homage to Isabelle Joschke. Are there other skippers that really impressed you? Did you discover some sailors? Yes, of course. Benjamin Dutreux. We were neck and neck during many days, and of course there is Damien. Because with all this, we have the old jerk, the handicapped, and the cool guy. So at some point, the young men who are nice and clean on themselves, we are jerks, cool and handicapped. Damien is here. Maybe Damien could tell us what he thinks about this. I was sorry that Isabelle is not here because it would have meant that there was a woman also. Can Damien answer maybe? Yes. So Damien says I'm going to be the handicapped. Yes. I can add to what Vendée Globe, to what Jean has said. This Vendée Globe was exceptional. But if I am here today, it's thanks to you, and there is no price to this. I could thank you every day, but it will never match up to what you brought me. And it's an amazing thing that we have shared together 3 years before the Vendée. And there is not a single day on this race when I didn't think about you or look at your position, or when I didn't worry about you. When I saw that you had worries, I knew it. You told me things on the VHF that you didn't tell the other ones, but it was extraordinary. And I just want to thank you. Because when I had this dream of taking the start of the Vendée, I was also dreaming of foilers and boats with that cost millions, and you managed to show me the essential aspect, which is a boat that floats and that has nothing. That makes all the difference, because some have millions and who are at home, and we are at the finish to celebrate, so it's wonderful. Thank you, Damien. Benjamin, why do you appreciate Benjamin that much? First of all, because his boat is one of the best phare boats with a particular hull, and that Bilou knows well also. But it's because I consider that Damien is really good. in the options, in the speed, with what he has. He does it really well with what he has. He can go quickly in the right place. He is smart in his strategy. He's a good sailor. No doubt on that. Because I was near him during many days. Going down, we were really tight, close together, and in the south also. And at the end, when I stopped, and when there was too much sea and the J2 that I had to take off, and he distanced me, but I caught him up. I thought that Dabien was unreachable. So for me, the objective was to arrive ahead of Benjamin. So of course we have a story together. That's why. Are you happy with the victory of Yannick Besteven with foils, but with a reasonable budget? Yes, I'm really happy. Because he did a wonderful race. In the south, he was above everyone else. He was. It seemed like he was in his own place, and nobody existed around him. Then he had his problems because he could have the race was won for him, but then with his problems, and in the end, he won the Vendée Globe. So I say it's good. It's a nice story. It's pretty. He deserves it. You don't think so? Jean, you had some really tight trajectories. At any moment, didn't you ask yourself what you would have done with a faster boat? Oh no, because if I hadn't had all these problems, for sure, it would have been different. That really handicapped me. So I didn't want to have another boat that was more something or the other. This one suits me very well. Maybe you could have won the Vendée Globe. Yes, but with ifs, you can go very far. I was happy to be 8th, and now I'm 4th. 8th was good for me. And then people told me you could be 6th. So I said 6th, why not? 5th didn't even exist. The 5th position was open during 4 or 5 hours, but I didn't even think that I could do this. It's this morning. I should have arrived slowly. My objective was Apicil, first dagger board. For the other foilers, I didn't really care. So I said, oh, I'm heading back slowly. But then someone said, maybe you could arrive ahead of Boris Herman. So I couldn't believe it. And actually, it really reduced. I didn't follow everything, but... So I decided to go a little bit faster. So you know why I pushed it a lot over the 2-3 days? Because I knew with the tide I could come in at 7 p.m. So all the work that I did for the tides, it hurt Boris Herman and the blue boat. And it's the tide of Les Sables d'Olonne. So It's to show that there were things that I couldn't imagine. I was looking at the routings. I was thinking I'll be there at 7:30. Maybe I was looking at my routings at 95%, but I wasn't able to do it. And in the end, I'm fourth. So just to say that stories are incredible.
Encore? On a.
So if there aren't any more questions, there's still a question. Hello, Jean. Hello, Jean-Louis. To finish with these questions, I want your opinion on Louis Burton, who also had a very aggressive race. Yes, it was incredible. And I wanted to know how you felt about his race. Last night for us was crazy, and tonight is quite crazy also. I just wanted to have your opinion on this. I think he really went all the way. He went in the very hard France, first part of the Indian Ocean. He was having trouble. He was in the red zone near the ice exclusion zone. He was on the borderline all the time, and he had an incredible speed. Yeah, he did an amazing race. He stopped in Macquarie. He broke some things. He had electrical problems. Then he stops at Macquarie. And when I reached Macquarie, I almost hit it because I didn't see it. I was 30 miles off Macquarie and I was heading for it. But he stopped in Macquarie. And then he resumed his race, full on, going really fast. And then he took the lead of the race. What I didn't understand is how at 24 hours before the finish you can go in the middle of the course and try to take a position on the other one. How can you be on speed zero when the other one was approaching? I think he really entertained the Vendée Globe in a very good way. He completely let go. I think it had a lot of character. His race had a lot of character. That's what I feel. Thank you, Jean. We have a journalist of the Bid Marley who said that you really marked the children, a school from Brittany who worked for you, and we invite you to look at this video.
Danser ton joli bateau blanc dans les alizés, les 50e hurlants, dans les dépressions et les anticyclones. Tu passes comme un avion vers les sables d'Olonne. Chaud devant, il y a Hubert qui déboule. Sur les océans, il va fendre la houle. C'est le roi Jean qui a pas besoin de rame. Un souffle de vent et il y a Jean qui fout calme. On a percé le mystère sacré, Jean. Comment tu t'es glissé en haut du classement? Y a pas que le code zéro et puis le grand Génac. Y a aussi les rivaux et le château Ténac. Chaud devant, y a Hubert qui déboule. Sur les océans, il va fendre la houle. passe une nuit dans l'Indien à chercher le radeau confetti de Kevin Escoffier. Quand tu le hisses à bord, enfin c'était gagné. Les albatros alors se sont mis à pleurer. Chaud devant, Hubert va arriver. Écoute comment le cheval va chanter. Chaud devant, il est temps qu'on acclame l'arrivée du roi Jean en chantant Yes We Can.
Ça, c'est beau.
That's beautiful. Thank you. It's a real pleasure. Thank you, Jean. Thank you to everyone.
Donnez-moi une suite au Ritz, je n'en veux pas. Des bijoux de chez Chanel, je n'en veux pas. Donnez-moi une limousine, j'en ferai quoi? Offrez-moi du personnel, j'en ferai